Well then, hello. If you're watching this, I thank you for clicking in, and if you're coming back, welcome back. I have a lot of things to rant on this video. I'll see how long it takes. In the meantime, I'm going to be painting this custodian guard with his spear, guardian spear. I'm going to be base coating this guy on white, and after that I'm going to use speed paint golden armor from the army painter. I've been using this. I love them, but they need a clear surface to work better, and the best option right now, since I have already primed this guy on gray, it will be just to base coat him on white. Other than that, you can see that I'm working on some bases over here. I'm going to try to make marble stone out of this, following some guidelines that I found. But other than that, I'm going to go for try to apply a true metallic metal effect on this guy. I have already painted my custodian blade champion. I tried to complete or do the true metallic metal. I think I'm getting the basis of it. I'm not sure if this is a good representative of what I can do, but I started on January, so yeah. Anyways, I know my set sucks. I'll try to fix that up some point. I'm still recording from my cell phone, so if you're watching this, I appreciate it. And anyways, there's been a lot of things happening right now in this 2024, especially with Warhammer. As a side note, I'm going to use AK Interactive white for the base coat, and I'm going to apply it on the armor parts of the miniature. Yeah, as I was saying, there's been a lot of things happening on the Warhammer and Games Workshop front. They decided to double down on everything. It's not like I was thinking or hoping that they will turn back their decision to change the lore of the game, stating that there's always been female custodes, though in 30 plus years of Games Workshop it was never mentioned once, and many of the lore writers always refer to custodes as male or male-oriented, such as the Brotherhood or the Sons of Terra. I will leave a link on the description of this video for any reference that I will make, because it's been exploding, and I've been following for a while this guy named Arch. It's currently named Arch, but previously he was called Arch Warhammer. Then Games Workshop, due to some concerned trollers, they decided to go on the offensive against this guy and basically threaten him with legal action if he didn't change the Warhammer part of his name. Yeah, he decided to do that. I don't know if he went for legal action or not, or legal counseling before taking that decision. Anyways, the decision is taken already. His name is Arch. I like what he has to say about this. This is a obvious move from many people with the vested interests to invalidate or to nullify some if not all places where people can just unwind and just continue to have fun in spite of what life is throwing. It reminds me of a previous video that I made, and if you're watching this, my son, hope you you remember that. It is a video where I speak about people that will always have envy of others, especially creatives, and they want to control others. They would like to control the creativity of others and the leisure time of others. Why? Because I don't know, they're frustrated. There are many reasons, but basically most of them come from utter frustration upon themselves, on their own lives, that they want to then try to control or exert some power over others, especially when those others are in creative fields such as, I don't know, movies or TV or anyways, any kind of entertainment media. Those are the prime targets for these people that usually they don't have any talent of their own. They know that deep inside, they know that, and they try to control others, and especially other people that may not be active participants or active people in creative roles, but that they just enjoy the creativity of others, and there they go, trying to control and manipulate everything that they can get their hands on. And it's been happening for years, at least in this 2024. It's like, I don't know, the 12th 30th year of this. I don't know, we've been over a decade or more with this relentless assault from the concerned quote-unquote left, ideologically trying to control and manipulate everything that used to be a safe haven for those that wanted to just relax from the day-to-day life, just unplug their brain and have some time for themselves and to enjoy some nonsense, to enjoy things that are hobbies or entertainment. I don't know what you will like, my son. Probably you will like to play music. You're very creative in that aspect, and that was the nature of my previous video. That you will, especially you, if you're a creative, you will always find these kind of people that will try always to police what you can say, what you can do, how your art should be reflected, and these people will always come from a place that they are frustrated, that mainly that they are not creative enough to do something for themselves. Second, that especially if you do not share their political ideas, they are going to hound you, boy. They're going to hound every day of your life. They're going to hound you. They're going to hound your family. They're going to be, especially now, since the playbook has been already established by 2024. They're going to try to give you no respite anywhere. And this is what's been happening to Warhammer, to Games Workshop. I don't think Games Workshop is innocent at all. I have already made a video to Asmogan apologizing because he gave me the opportunity to be on an open mic on his channel on a stream. I kinda defended or played the devil's advocate, and I truly believe that. Therefore, I'm not exactly playing devil's advocate. I truly believe that Games Workshop was not going to do this, was not going to double down on female custodians in the way that they did. There was always a possibility. People were upset that the change was made to the canonical lore. You have to understand I'm not sure, my son, if when you're watching this, I will be playing Warhammer, or I will talk to you about Warhammer. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. Many things are changing by the day right now, and you're still very young. At the time of this recording, you're just 2 years old, 2 years and a half. Yeah, these changes to the lore have made a lot of people very upset, because it's been years and years of these busybodies that do, I'm pretty sure most of them, if not all of them, do not play this game. They do not play Warhammer. They do not involve themselves in the lore or the stories. They just see a popular thing that mainly males are enjoying, and somehow they want to just come in and change all of that, because apparently during this day and age, males cannot have a hobby or a space where they can enjoy their time. Keep in mind that this hobby has never been exclusive. Never. It's never been for race, for a specific race. It's never been for a specific gender. It's always been open to those that want to paint and want to play. And you don't have to do both. You can do just one. I'm mostly doing one. I'm only painting, and if I'm going to play, I'm going to play with my friends. I don't want to play competitive. I do not care about the competitive scene on Warcraft. I'm sorry, 40k. I don't really care, and I'm not going to be a part of it. So yeah, which leads me to the other point, but I will come back to that later on the video, hopefully, if I don't lose my train of thought, because all of these videos I'm just winging them. I don't have a script for them, in case you haven't noticed that I am a complete amateur on this. Anyways, I will leave the description in the links for the videos that I've been watching about this on the description of my own. The link to the channels of the people that I follow regarding this, that I think, yeah, some of them might be more partial than others, but they try to just provide as much information upfront to you. I don't know, I think I can say that as unfiltered as possible. Everybody has their own perception of things. You will do too. You do already. Sometimes you have more opinions than teeth. But yeah, I will leave those links on the description. Hopefully by the time that you are old enough to see these videos and hopefully understand them, all of this has already died out, and perhaps you will have different hobbies that you will understand what was to live through this process, through this era. And another rumor is, and perhaps in the future you will know if it happened or not, Warhammer was pretty popular during this era. We've come out of a recess time called the pandemic, because there was a global pandemic of certain sickness that resembles just your garden variety of flu, but it had a different name, came from a different country, and apparently YouTube still does not accept to be openly talking about it. I don't want to risk it. Anyways, I'm not getting profit from any of my videos anyways, but I just don't want to risk my channel being cancelled or blocked because I spoke out of turn. All hail my robot masters in YouTube. Well, anyways, Yeah, probably by the time that you're old or watching this video, you will know if the TV show for Warhammer that Henry Cavill was part of did air or not. Um, at the moment of my recording this, there was a Fortune. Fortune is another thing that perhaps will merit its own video, my son. Hopefully, you will not know what it is in the days of in the future days. But anyways, it was a text forum. Um, there, apparently, a leaker indicated that all the reason behind all of this has been Amazon trying to force the hand of Henry Cavill and those in charge of the TV show that is going to be aired on Amazon Prime. To be quite honest, I was trying, kind of looking forward to it because apparently Henry Cavill is really a nerd and he does love Warhammer's setting. But yeah, it's looking bleak, especially for the guy. I honestly feel sorry for the guy because you will not know of this, but he was part of another show called The Witcher. Maybe you have already played the game. I already have it. I have Witcher 3, I have Witcher 2, I have Witcher 1. And as all kids understand in their time, what's mine is basically yours. So probably you have already played one of those games by the time that you're watching this video. I hope you have you already have. If not, well then there's always time. And if you're not interested, well then do something else. It's your life, and I'm not going to obstruct it. Yeah, that was a show that he was participating on. He was very happy at the beginning. I think he called it his dream job or his dream casting for the position of Geralt of Rivia. And then Netflix decided to go all insane about it and basically ignored all the lore, the original lore, and decided to do something else with the characters, sending the show to oblivion. By the time of this recording, it has already been announced that the show will be cancelled in just after 5 seasons when it was planned for 7. And the last season, it's shorter because, well, yeah, they lost Henry Cavill, and that was a big freaking blow. Anyways, he has been for a couple of years very excited about working on his Warhammer project, though I don't think he's happy with Amazon at all, or he will not be, since he has already walked out of the Witcher, which he called his dream job. I don't think he's got any reservations of walking out of a Warhammer TV show. Now I'm going to start applying the Golden Armor Speed Paint from Army Painter. As I said, I love these paints, and I hope if you have formed part of the hobby that I have been enjoying for months now, that you will love also these paints. I'm going to use I don't think it's the job for a number 2 brush. I'm going to use a number 4. Going to be providing the gold color to my miniature right now. Alright, and well then that's part of what's been happening so far. I do not enjoy any of this. I started collecting Custodes because I just liked them. I think they were cool, and it turns out that Games Workshop decided to just change the lore, which was part of what made me decide to go full into a Custodes army. That they were the spooky, more powerful ultramarines. Space marines than the space marines. These guys are the space marines of the space marines. So, but turns out that apparently the emperor was a complete idiot, and he decided to allow a enantiomorphic species, a physically not escapable as the male species, as the male counterpart, females to be part of his honor guard. There was a dictator or a president or whatever, I don't remember, in the Arab countries that he had only female staff as his personal guard, and they were touted as to be very efficient and very specialized troops and whatever, and they were just the SWAT of the country, just mopped the floor with them. So yeah, it really makes a lot of sense to make females of our species the honor guard, right? Because, well, anyways, it's supposedly that this process of creating Custodes and Space Marines greatly enhance what is already there. The qualities of the individual are enhanced, genetically enhanced by the process of creating the Custodes or the Space Marine. So if the traits were not as on top as they should have been, then you weren't getting a subpar Custodes, in my opinion. But yeah, well, whatever. I don't work in Games Workshop. I'm not part of them. And what I liked of what I've been liking for years, because I did not collect minis and I did not start painting Warhammer since this January 2024. But before, I was already submerged in their lore due to video games and books. And yeah, at no point were Custodes indicated to be a mixed force, and they were always indicated to be males. They had counterparts, females, that were part of the custodian guard, and I love them. Honestly, I really love that aspect of the army. I think it is highly unrepresented, the Sisters of Silence, and now I don't think they have any chance to be represented at all at any point in the future, because now Games Workshop just decided that Custodes, they have, since the beginning, they have always had females in them. Nobody noticed in the past 10,000 years inside the game, and for the past 30 years in real world, nobody mentioned one. I saw one last video from March today. He was talking about all of this as it is exploding. As I mentioned, things tend to live a little bit in outrage in the internet during your Papa's days. I don't know how it will be in the future, but today, on 2024, they really live in infamy for about a couple of weeks, and then they died out because the internet usually moves really fast. But anyways, here's the aspects of what, and hopefully this is a lesson for you to take, because part of what I will try to instruct you to you. And if you're not my son and you're watching this video, also keep this in mind. Hopefully it will help you. Your time and how do you use it and decide to spend it, it is invaluable to you. It is your best currency. Your time and the investment that you provide, it is your best currency in this life, especially in consumer products. You are the one that decides whether or not you continue to support certain companies, certain products, and at the end of the day, it is you who decide if said products will live or die. This is a consumer boycott. That's what they are called. When companies piss off their customers, well, customers are the ones that we have the wallet. And we're the ones that decide whether or not we're going to pay for overpriced plastic. Another guy that I follow on YouTube, Hill versus Babyface, has already said that many times, but I think, I'm not sure if you will even know who that is. But the message bears repeating. It is us who decide what stays and what goes. Sure, Warhammer has been very popular in the past 10 years, 6 to 10 years, and has grown to a billion dollar company in just a few steps, a few years. But that money is not, they do not generate money, they generate plastic, and now they're spit on the floor. So, and in this hobby, being that expensive, the plastic is really freaking expensive. The main reason that people love to come back and buy overpriced plastic is because the lore is there. They have submerged themselves in the lore. They do not really play. I'm sure there are people out there. I'm sure there are some of them out there that do play the game because of the miniatures. I'm sure there are other people out there that they just like the models that Games Workshop provides, and they are only painting them because they like the models, they like the armies. But in some of them, and I will say them mostly on the second example, that person that has a favorite army but does not play the game, they just like to paint them and do dioramas or whatever. They are involved in the lore. That's why they love their faction, right? Be it any of the armies in the game, Eldar, Tau, Space Marines, Astra Militarum, which used to be called Imperial Guard. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure that person that only paints his favorite faction, they are invested in lore. They're not invested that much in the game or in the plastics themselves. And during this time, I'm not sure how it's going to be in the future, but during this time, there's a boom of 3D printers. In fact, I'm thinking about buying one. They are not cheap, they're expensive, but in the long run, it will save me a lot of bucks to have a 3D printer, print whatever I want to paint, clean up the chemical mess that it's going to leave behind, so you don't get intoxicated and I don't get a scream from your mom. And yeah, I will save more money at the end of the road, because yeah, as I said, this hobby, it's really freaking expensive. And at the time of this recording, we're waiting for another bundle of joy. your brother or sister is right now at this recording, uh, 5 months old in your mama's belly. Uh, so yeah, I could use the money, and if I have the chance to continue my hobby without spending much more, yeah, I will take that route. Especially uh, when the factions and the lore that I loved, basically, it's being utterly ignored and destroyed in front of me. This has been happening for years. That's why most all of us that do want to have a retreat space are sick and tired of this, and we're offering, we're not offering, we're stating that we're going to go out and that we're not going to buy more from these companies that they find it very easy to not only change what has been attractive for the customer. They also try to insult the people when they complain about said changes, which is what happened in a platform formerly called Twitter, now called X. It is what happened over there. Person decided to ask to Games Workshop why did they decide to add female custodes to the lore, because they're not doing it in the game. That's another big thing, weird, which reminds me of speaking of the leaks in 4chan, which I will always recommend to use several amounts of salt in your judgment when you hear rumors. Anyways, yeah, a person asked Games Workshop about it. Why did they decide to add female custodes? And they responded with something that is completely and utterly like a spit on the face of the fans. They said they've always been females in the custodes since the inception of the first 10,000, which is bullshit. They don't even either they maliciously ignore their own lore, and they decide just to tell the fans, fuck you, you are wrong because I say so, which is highly a possibility. Or this is another possibility. I think it is maybe not as higher as the fuck you possibility, but I think it's close second, that the community managers for 40K, they don't know shit about the lore of the game. They're just there to push their own agenda and ideas. That's why I think that community managers, they need to be reined in, or you need to destroy the position itself. It's a big company. They do not do anything in favor of the company most of the time. Mostly they just try to use the platform that they are given to push their own agendas. It's been like that in other mediums, such as video game journalists, which is today is just, yeah, I have nothing good to say about video game journalists. I don't like them. I've stopped looking into what they do or what they provide. Instead, I just try to look for trustworthy, quote unquote, people in YouTube that review games, that they really review the games that they play. But yeah, I digress. Games Workshop decided to just blatantly spit on the fans. I don't know. I will not give the benefit of the doubt to Games Workshop anymore. So I will assume malice from the beginning. So I will assume that Games Workshop knows that this answer has been provided to the fans, and they just don't fucking care because they have a plan to follow. They have an agenda to manipulate and continue with, and that's what's going to happen moving forward. I don't think they care, even if they do not have strong contact with the or strong direct line with the community managers, which is a possibility that the community managers are very, very stupid and unsupervised, and they do not provide the correct feedback to Games Workshop in itself. It might happen when coming from the video game scene. Yeah, I've seen cases such as that happen, just as I have described, that the community manager is completely and utterly batshit crazy, using the game's platform to just continue with their agenda, and they don't care if the game or the community that supports the game goes to shit and abandons the game. These are not their ideas. It's going back to what I said at the beginning. They do not care. These people do not care because these are not their creative babies. They are there for the ride, if at all. They just see what others have created with a passion and others enjoy. They just see them as a standing stone or a step, and they do not give a shit about what is going to happen to said thing after they leave. They will just use it to propagate their message, and they do not care what happens next. They might be fired. That's okay with them because they have already achieved and obtained what they were looking for, which was to convert and to transform a quote-unquote safe space for those that enjoy something that it's not, that it's give them escapism from reality, and they have turned that into something shitty and awful that either it is a mockery of what it used to be, or it just reflects so much reality that you just decided to quit the thing and move on to other pastures. They do not care. These people do not care. If you're going to be a creative in life, I will suggest to always try to recognize this kind of people. Always try to see the patterns. They will always try to infiltrate your inner circle with honey in their tongues. But honestly, these people are worse than anything. They do not care about what you're doing. They care to use you, about how to use you. That's all these people care about. That's what happened to Warhammer. That's what happened to Disney. That's what happened to Lucasfilm. That's what happened to many video games in the lifespan of my life so far. Hopefully, but when you read this or when you see this, all of this will be a distant fucking memory. I hope so, but I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to be like that. Arch has been doing a few videos that I think they're very interesting, and that you as my son need to view them and try to understand the point. The point being, most of the time, is that doing a recap of history as to where all of this comes from, and the playbook of these people. Again, I do recommend you to see those videos. I'm going to leave the links on the description, so you can understand and try to recognize that behavior from outside sources. Again, I'm thinking that you're going to be a creative person more so than what I will ever be. You enjoy music in ways that surprise me by your young age. That you enjoy the music in such a way that you describe and enjoy the sounds. So I think that eventually, if we can foster that moving forward, you're going to be a creative person. And I don't want you to fall prey to idiots that do all of this, that infiltrate others, entourages, or inner circles just to, in the best case scenario, and this is not good either, in the best case scenario, just to get a benefit from your effort, be it monetary or satisfaction through attention or whatever. That usually happens more with females, that they look craving for attention, and they do not look for, most of the time, they prioritize attention instead of monetary value. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, hopefully you can learn to identify these behaviors, so in order to avoid them and try to continue your own life on your own way. I'll leave those videos in the description, as I said, and I think they carry that important message. As you can see right now, all the parts of the armor have already been painted with the speed metal paint called golden armor. I really like this for my Custodes. I'm going to finish the video right now as I'm over 40 minutes. Next, I'm going to use Retributor armor to solidify some of the color in the areas of the chest, head, and shoulder pads, because that's where I want the attention to be kept on. And other than that, well then, I will move also to paint the spear, and hopefully I can get another video by tomorrow. In the meantime, well then, if you're my son, know that I love you. Hopefully all of these lessons and the stupidity of the times of your dad, and most probably also the stupidity of my actions, if not the correct ones, show you a good example of what not to do or what to be aware of. And if you're not my son and you're looking into this video, I appreciate the time. I appreciate that you waited all this long for hearing this old man rant and paint at the same time. And well then, if by any chance anyone looking at this video is interested in more content, well, just give a thumbs up and subscribe. I do appreciate that. In the meantime, thank you and goodbye. Hope you have a very, very, very good life from here on. Goodbye.